All right, welcome you guys to the Worthiness Project podcast. I am your host, Vally Ann, and it feels so good to be back. I hope wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, whatever day, whatever season, that you are finding this podcast, this platform, exactly where you need to be. And I am your host, Vally Ann, and I am so excited to be here with you guys. And I am so excited for you to be poured into. And if this is your first episode with me, or if this is one of many, you already know that I am always excited when it comes to self-worth. Okay? Am I always excited to be in the trenches or to be doing the work? Not always. But I am excited to share with you the practices. I'm excited to share with you that tidbit of self-worth you may or may not know you needed. And also to know that it's no BS here, okay? You might have noticed on my website, vallyann.com, on some of my master classes, I am very to the point, okay? I am very practical because I believe when you come across the topic of self-worth, it is a very courageous thing you have just done. Nobody really understands or wants to admit all the time that their self-worth can grow, okay? Sometimes we don't even know what we don't know. So congratulations on being here. Congratulations on saying yes to yourself and to be listening to something that is going to shift your feelings, your alignment, and your day. And that is my goal. That is my hope for you, that something that I share with you on my podcast platform, in today's episode, on my YouTube channel, just gives you what you didn't know you needed. And I'm just so grateful for you to be here today. So I am your worthiness coach, Vally Ann. I have been building my worthiness business for almost 2 years now. This podcast is celebrating almost a year and a half, and I'm just so excited about it. The whole reason I created this podcast was because I wanted to take all the experiences I had, personal, with my clients, with women that I've mentored in my other business, with the seminars and the coaches that I've had. I wanted to share it with everybody. Because if you know me in my personal life, you will know that I've always been someone who, with the people I care about, I share all these things. And I just do it because I know how it makes me feel. And I figured what better non-invasive way to get this information that I feel is so important. Because I know and believe that, as cliche as it may sound, you guys, we get one chance here, right? There's no dress rehearsals in our life, and there is so much going on around us, so many distractions, if you will, just so much information, just so much happening, that more than ever, making ourselves a priority and feeling good about it so we therefore can live an intentional life is more important than ever. And that is what I hope to bring to my platform. That is where the Worthiness Project on Instagram was born. That is where vallyann.com and my master classes and my coaching program, that is where it was adapted from, because I believe that more people than ever right now want to live with intention, and we may or may not know how, or we think we know how, or we're trying, or we've been doing the hamster wheel of the personal growth, kind of what I was doing for quite some time. And then we realize we just need some guidance. We just need some accountability. We just need someone who cares without the BS, without the fluff, okay? Because life is happening, right? And we can do hard things, you guys. And that is just what I fully believe here at the Worthiness Project. That is what my platform is all about. So without further ado, I want to dive in today because I know time is precious, and that is one of the things with energy that we just need to protect, our time and our energy. So once again, I am so grateful that you are choosing to spend your time and your energy with me today, and to pour into yourself. Okay, so today I have to look at my notebook. Okay, if you are watching this, the video portion, you're going to see me looking down because I do have a lot of squirrel moments If you've been following me, you know that happens. And it doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. It means that I could talk about 5 different topics at once, so I need to stay focused. So, excuse me as I'm looking down to talk about today's topic, which is that I'm going to talk about attitude. And it's not what you think. I don't think attitude is everything. I actually believe when it comes to our self-worth, that attitude isn't everything. Okay? So I firmly believe that attitude is not everything. You're like, what? I need a minute to digest that, because we keep hearing all the time, attitude is everything. And I'm not saying attitude is not important, but attitude is not everything when it comes to our self-worth, because we have more power than we think. And I'm going to talk to you about a couple pivotal practices that are going to help you shift to make your attitude shift, but also know it's not everything when it comes to our self-worth. It's a combination of things, okay? And these things are more tangible than you think. So my goal, my focus today is to have you understand that I'm calling them pivotal practices, because if you guys are friends, fans, and if you're not, just look it up, the pivot episode, okay? Where Ross is like, pivot, up the stairs. Okay, we have to pivot. When we are talking about our self-worth, we have to be willing to pivot. We have to be willing to show up. And that connects with attitude, but attitude is still not everything. Because when we have the attitude, we have to then be willing to pivot, and we have to then be willing to show up and understand through our awareness there's still work to be done. Because let's just call it for how it is, right? Some of us are just like, I don't have a good attitude in life, right? Or we might say something like, well, I'm just not a positive person. I don't have a positive attitude. Your self-worth has nothing to do with being positive or being a certain way. It comes down to your willingness to make a choice. And the good news is that no matter what we're feeling, and this might sting some of us, okay? And usually when something stings or triggers us, it is normally because it is like holding a mirror up to our face and us seeing the thing that we have kind of been trying to avoid or not wanting to face the fact. So if this does trigger you a little, not in a, unhealthy way, but just get some feelings happening in your body, whatever they may be, then this means it resonates with you. Because when it comes down to our self-worth, we also have ownership. We have to get to a point where we are basically sick and tired of feeling a certain way. You know the phrase, we're sick and tired of being sick and tired? And the only way to make a change is to make a change. So we can use our past to make these pivotal practices who we want to step into. Okay? So some of these topics are a story for another day, which good thing I have a podcast because they will be. But essentially, right, I'm not saying your past and your current situation is not important to how you feel about yourself right now. But if you are here on this platform right now, then there is a part of you that already understands you have the control and the power with the right pivotal practices to shift into the worth you desire. We all know and crave deep, depending how deep down it is, and it may take layers, and you may need to chisel down those layers, and the only way we get to those layers sometimes is by being in pain, being uncomfortable, being deflated, and then when we're in those moments, you guys, that is when the worth starts to evolve and come through, because you have chiseled away, you have faced it. You are like, I am just done getting this external validation. I am just done relying my happiness on other people. I am just done being, known for just my job or just my recognitions. To get to the point of you knowing that you are the only human being that defines your worth in this world is a process. But with these pivotal practices and understanding, it doesn't matter if you are a quote unquote positive person or not. Are you willing to show up for yourself? That is the real question. Because when you then say, yes, Val, I am willing to show up for myself, you are then saying yes to everything else that you truly love in your life. Because you then are taking the responsibility off of those things and those people that you care about, because you know that they are just contributing to your value in life and vice versa. You already know you're worthy enough to be in their life because they clearly already think that if they are choosing to have you in their life. Same thing with other things in our life as well. But when we make the decision, the decision, you guys, not about the attitude. When we make the decision, we then commit to the attitude. It's the same thing as motivation. Nobody, I don't care who you are, is motivated all the flipping time. Nobody. It is strict discipline. It is strict doing shit, excuse my language, when you don't want to do it, because when that is done, that you just showed up as the best version of yourself. Well, the same thing happens with our self-worth. We have two choices, you guys, when we are making a decision to feel a certain way, to act a certain way. And some of you may know this already, but I call this the second thought. So your first pivotal practice is to understand that is not the attitude that is going to drive you, it is the choice. And good thing we have an opportunity to make new choices every single day. Good thing we can use our past to alleviate, to elevate who we truly want to be and show up as. I'm not saying there's not going to be obstacles. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. But what I am going to say is we have choices. Okay? And when we make that choice to say yes to ourselves and say, yes, you know what? Looking in the mirror. Pretend I'm looking in the mirror right now. And if I were looking in the mirror, I would say, yes, Val. Yes, I am saying yes to you. So I therefore can say yes to everything else that matters in my life authentically and the way I want to show up as and the way they deserve to have me. And with that knowledge, and understanding that you can be like not that quote unquote positive person all the time. Because guess what? You actually shift into that attitude. And I'm a huge advocate of this. I believe that we shift to have the perspective that has a better feeling and a better outcome. Those are all choices, right? Because there's some days I have a real crappy attitude. But even with a crappy attitude, I am aware enough to understand I am in low vibration. I am aware enough to understand and be acknowledgement that what I'm thinking right now is not the best version of myself, and I allow it to happen, right? But then I make the executive choice to pivot, to shift into the second thought. So that is what I'm inviting you to think about today. I want you just to take some inventory, okay? I want you to take some inventory of just, when was the last time, you have asked yourself what you need? Like when you wake up in the morning, what controls you? Does this device control you? Okay? Or are you making a choice, a decision to put that down this electronic device that I just showed, and say, okay, I'm going to make a pivotal choice right now. I'm going to make and shift into the second thought. And I'm going to put this device down and I'm going to ask myself, how am I feeling today? Okay. You might be like, I'm tired. I'm feeling, nervous. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling good. Okay. Whatever it might be. You take that feeling, you guys, and you then honor it. And then I want you to literally give yourself praise, because I need you to think about this for a minute. When was the last time you thought about yourself first in the morning? And I mean, like, when you scroll your phone, you are already thinking about all those other things that you are seeing on social media, in your email, in your text messages. Your thought is not on you. All of a sudden, you are taken over by all these emotions. We get to have the power to make a choice, and it starts with us first thing in the morning. And this is one of those pivotal practices I am talking about that I want you to implement. So no matter where you are in your worthiness journey, whether you are just, the next step elevation, or mediocre in the middle, or just starting and having a tough time, I promise you this simple question in the morning: how am I feeling today? And just check in. I'm not even saying you have to do anything with it. I'm going to talk about the next thing in a minute. But remember, our worthiness is a process. It's all about progress. Okay? So checking in with yourself, if you have never done that, or it's been a hot minute since you checked in with just you, that is progress. That one small pivotal practice is progress. Why? Because you are now telling your subconscious mind that you matter. And most of the time, when we're seeking external validation, when we are disappointed by other people because we are creating these expectations rather than appreciation, or having this self-validation that we have for ourselves, you are now creating a pivotal practice that your subconscious mind is saying, oh my gosh, you matter. And because you filled your cup first thing, you now have space to carry on with the other things in your life, to check in with the other people, okay, to do the other things. So that is pivotal practice number one. How am I doing today? How am I feeling? Okay. Pivotal practice number two is asking yourself after that question. Your phone is down, you guys. Second thought. Yes, I understand that many of you are going to pick up your phone and mid-scroll, you're going to be like, oh, crap. Okay. And then you're going to put the phone down. Why? Because you just had the second thought. You decided to make a choice and not judge the fact that we are so habitual with our electronics that you're like, cool, okay, I'm going to restart. I'm going to try again. All right. Deep breath. Val, how are you feeling today? Okay. First thing I might feel. Okay, you guys, I normally wake up with anxiety. It's just a thing. Okay, it has gotten much better over the years for many different reasons, many different awareness practices. Okay, but many of us have a natural state. And I'm not judging it. I don't classify myself as an anxious person anymore. I classify as the emotion I'm feeling when I wake up sometimes is anxiety. Cool. All right. No judgment, no identity with it, just a simple fact. Like I look out the window, it's raining, I'm gonna need an umbrella today. Okay, so if I wake up this morning and I'm like, okay, how am I feeling today? I'm feeling anxious. The next question is, what tool am I gonna need to help me with this anxious feeling? What do I need right now? Do I maybe just need to reset my day? Do I need to listen to my favorite song? Do I need to repeat some mantras that bring me back to center? Do I need to remind myself? Because when we're feeling anxious or unworthy or just negative thoughts in the morning, it is from a long period of us being conditioned to feel that way. Right? Our brains are over 2,000 years old, you guys. Our anxiety is the same feeling, fight and flight mode sometimes, or these horrible feelings that we feel sometimes are the same as, someone who was 2,000 years ago who lived and their situation was dire, right? Our bodies have this to protect us. So when we can just honor what it is we're feeling, but then come up with a choice to have a solution. It's when we try to suppress that anxious feeling. We try to pretend it's not there or don't even acknowledge why. Sometimes we can't fix it immediately, but if we can identify the emotion and honor it and then connect it to, I have all those emails to catch up with at work today. Oh my gosh, my boss is making me feel this way. Or, I got into a disagreement with someone I care about and it's still not resolved. Just validating where the anxiety is coming from is already facing it, not necessarily trying to fix it, but you are validating yourself. You are validating who you are. You are validating that your emotion is valid, okay? And there's also nothing wrong with it. Okay, so pivotal practice number 1. You are not checking in with the world. You are checking in with yourself when you first wake up. Pivotal practice number 2. After you identify how you're feeling, you are then saying, okay, why is this emotion happening right now? Now, tables are turned. You may wake up feeling calm. You may wake up feeling really good. Most of the time on our self-worth journey, our first thoughts are not always positive thoughts. That's why I call it having the second thought because it is a choice to switch our perspective to then allow us to have a better attitude, right? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't wake up and be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get out of bed today. No, I love my bed. It's like, there's some days where I'm like, I don't want to play today, right? Okay, I have that first thought, right? And then my brain says, Val, here's your pivotal practice. Have the second thought. Okay, my feeling is I don't want to play today. Why not? Okay, then this is where your perspective comes into play, you guys. And this is all a choice. And I'm going to be realer than real. We all have a choice to choose gratitude. We all do. Okay? We all have a choice to switch our verbiage. So I acknowledge that I woke up being like, I don't want to play today. Things are tough. When I was really in a low place after my dad passed, I still have hard days, right? It's still very raw. And I know that's something I'm going to be working with, basically for the rest of my life. And I choose to honor those feelings, okay? And then I choose to not identify myself as that person, but then I also choose to have a different perspective thought. And as hard as it is sometimes, as much as things feel like they're going maybe against us, okay, we have a choice to still wake up with something to be grateful for. And that attitude, that perspective switch will empower you. It may not make your day 100% better, but it's going to make it way better than you feeling like the day is not worth doing, than you having this attitude of, I don't want to play today. I have such a long day. I work with the hardest people. It's freezing outside. I don't make enough money. We could definitely make a whole list right now. But what are you choosing? What are you choosing to focus on? Okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. Even some days, if I have a hard time, yes, you better believe that I am grateful that I can hear out of both my ears. You better believe that I am grateful that I have the ability to go to the gym and do my workouts. Okay? It takes a minute and it takes intention and it takes choice. But your pivotal practice number 3 is to choose to have the perspective to find something to be grateful for. And your pivotal practice number 4 is the language that you use in the morning. Okay? Choosing to prioritize things in this world of ours that is nonstop. Okay? So your priorities might be like, I want to just get my emails done right away. I got to wake up and get myself right on the road. Okay, well, is your attitude, is your verbiage now shifting your attitude, right? Because you could have not the best attitude, but you could still be intentional with how you word your day. That's why I say attitude isn't everything. It's all a choice. So you can choose to say, that's not the best serving thought for me. How can I shift it? I'm going to say my mantras. I'm going to also say, yes, there are so many things going right for me. There are so many things going for me, not happening to me. I get to, right now in this time period, go to this job. Maybe it's a transitional. Maybe you're not working right now. So what do you get to do with this time? What are you choosing to do with this time that you have? What do you get to do today? That is your pivotal practice number 4. And number 5, for my overachievers, if you will, you can pick one of these practices or all of them that is going to help you connect with having a more steady attitude, right? Because this is like your dedication. This is like you are showing up for yourself with these pivotal practices, okay? Which we all are capable of doing, no matter what our situation is. And if you want to have a different situation, you want to feel different, you guys, you are going to make the choice to have the second thought, to check in with yourself, to find at least one thing to be grateful for, to realize when you are just talking about all the things you have to do, you're going to have a perspective switch and say, what do I get to do today? Do you get to call someone you love and tell them why they're amazing, no matter how late you're running? Do you get to spend time with someone? Do you get to send a text message to someone? How do we change our perspective on things? Things are not always ideal, but it doesn't mean they're staying that way all the time. Okay? But it's up to us when we have situations, how we're handling them and how we're going to move forward with them. And the moral of the story is, you right now listening, deserve to feel good. And we have to make an intentional choice to do it. Excuse me. So these pivotal practices, you guys, I hope they feel tangible. Pivotal practice number 1. You are going to look at your phone first thing. I know you are. Okay. You're going to try, you're going to do really well. And then there's going to be days, because remember, this is a pivotal practice that you're doing every day. So, I still check my phone first thing, and I've been doing this for so long. And then do you know what I do? I have the second thought. I do the second action. The one that is best serving as my best self. I put my phone down, I reset, and I just say, hey Val, how are you feeling today? And I check in with myself. I validate it, okay? I identify the feeling and try to figure out maybe why. Sometimes you can figure out why, sometimes it just kind of is what it is kind of feeling. But pivotal practice number 3, once you identify the feeling, all right, don't judge it, you just give it grace. We're not here to change, we're here to shift. So in order to shift, you're going to then focus on some gratitude. And sometimes you're going to be able to have a laundry list of gratitude, and some days it's going to be really hard because of where we're feeling and how we're feeling. But guess what? The fact that you're choosing to at least even find one thing you're grateful for is going to change, shift. It's a pivotal point of your morning. And this is something you can do throughout the day, these pivotal practices, okay? The 4th thing, you guys, your language, how you're choosing to word things. What do you have to do versus what do you get to do? What is happening to you or what is happening for you? Also, I never said this was going to be easy. Okay? I never said this was going to be an instant mind. This is awareness. And if you guys know me, I say our self-worth is all about awareness, right? It's all about being aware of ideas, words that we can shift. And that is what makes our self-worth journey so cool, is that every hour, you guys, is a new opportunity. You could have woken up all morning and literally done none of these pivotal practices. And then after lunchtime, you could be like, you know what? No, just no. Nope, just nope. Switching. You could go all day and then right before bed, just be like, oh gosh, okay. Today was kind of a bust. All right. How am I feeling? Check in with yourself before bed. Okay? Review the feeling. And then you could talk about something to yourself that you're grateful for from that day. Okay? And then what did you get to do that day? What have you gotten to do that? What have you gotten to do so far? Then the last thing is making something a priority that is important to you. Okay? What is important to you that you are making sure you're doing today? Is it because no matter how busy we are, that connection, doing something with intention, whether it be for you or for somebody else, right? We can be so busy now and we can just be so preoccupied, and it's okay. But let me tell you something. Your worth grows when you appreciate and connect with people you love. And it doesn't mean it has to be a crazy connection. It could just be sending them a funny meme. Okay? It could just being something that brings that joy and that intention to your day. So your pivotal practice number 5 is, what are you doing that connects with somebody else that is also bringing you joy? What small thing are you doing before your day starts? You know, a lot of leaders talk about sending appreciation text or emails, or, you know, just little fun things to people they love and care about, people they work with, because that just sets the tone for the day. Right? That sets the tone. When you know you made a difference to someone, it does help your worth. It does make a difference to your worth. So, pivotal practices, you guys, to your self-worth, and knowing that attitude is not everything. It's our decision to show up for ourselves first, to be sick and tired of being sick and tired, to listening to something like this podcast, to choosing to pick one pivotal practice or all 5, to choosing to say, my attitude doesn't define how worthy I am. It's all a choice, no matter what my attitude is, because then my attitude is going to follow. My attitude is then going to follow by my choices. Just like motivation doesn't come naturally, we stay motivated based on the discipline and the choices we choose to make when things are not easy. It's not always easy to have the best serving thought, you guys. It's so much easier sometimes to say, why me? It's so much easier just to be angry. It's so much easier to be annoyed. It's so much easier to hide. But if you're here, you know that doesn't work, and you know that doesn't feel good. So if your mission is to grow your worth, then I promise you these 5 pivotal practices, when you give them a week, and then 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, you are going to be blowing up my DM. You are going to be sending me emails. You're going to be contacting me through valleyand.com. You are going to be like, okay, I had some days, it wasn't the best, but I feel different. So just give it a try, okay? Give these pivotal practices a try. Know that it's progress over perfection, you guys. You have more power over your worth. Once you claim that, once you know that, once you make that choice to show up for yourself, the rest will follow. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Worthiness Project podcast. I am so excited about this new season and all the tidbits and the deep dives, okay, that I'm going to be sharing with you more than ever now. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready to keep getting the dose of worthiness that you didn't know you needed. And I can't wait to connect with you. Send me a message. The Worthiness Project on Instagram. Connect with me there. Leave comments on my YouTube channel. Let me know how this resonated. Leave me a review where this podcast platform is. Anywhere podcasts play is where this podcast is. And just know I'm so grateful. And I hope one of these tidbits, one of these pivotal practices resonated with you today. And you are signing off this podcast feeling ready, feeling empowered, and feeling like it's time I show up for me, because that is what I'm worthy of. All right, until next time, you guys, bye for now. See you later. Oh. Ugh. Okay. Okay.